Hello, and thank you very much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to learn about AAA Northway's upcoming 2024 trip of a lifetime in partnership with AAA Member Choice Vacations to the Bluegrass country and Smoky Mountains here of Kentucky, Tennessee, and North Carolina. Taking in a delightful trip through the heart of Appalachia, discovering the equestrian culture here of Kentucky, the pioneering spirit of Tennessee, and the mountainous beauty of North Carolina, October 3rd to the 11th, 2024. Remember, any of our travel consultants at any of the AAA Northway offices, whether you're in the North Country in Plattsburgh, the Capital Region, Saratoga, Queensbury, Clifton Park, we're here for you. And of course, down in Schenectady and in Vestal there in the Southern Tier. Reach out to any of our travel consultants, AAA.com/appointment or 877-222-8283 to set that proper meeting up here as well. We will have a travel consultant here, our host, David Suella here from AAA Saratoga Springs, as well as AAA Clifton Park on this amazing journey here to this part of the country here in October. And to pass the mic over, David, take it away.
Hi, welcome. Yes, as Kevin mentioned, I am a travel agent in AAA Northway, Saratoga Springs, and Clifton Park. I also am a host on some of our group departures. I've had the pleasure of traveling with AAA Member Choice Vacations and hosting tours. It's just really unique to see the group come together, experience destinations as a group. On this destination and this hidden gem of the United States, I'm sure we will compare notes on Churchill Downs to our also world famous racetrack in our backyard and really just experience the Smoky Mountains and the hidden gem of the United States. It's a great tour. We have a great itinerary put together for you, and to go more into detail that, here's back to Kevin. Thank you. I hope you will join me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, David. And as you said, yes, my name is Kevin Ferguson. I'm the business development manager for all of upstate New York for AAA Member Choice Vacations. I've been proudly working for the company for over 16 years, both as a tour manager out on the road in the thick of it all, as well as on our sales force. Home base for me is in Syracuse. And people have been asking me, Kevin, what's the best time to go here or there? And trust me, after the last few years of missed memories, experiences, and opportunities, the best time to travel truly is while you can. Now, AAA Member Choice Vacations for the fifth consecutive year in a row was just voted here our guided tour partner of the year by AAA National. Again, all those clubs coming together. And so that is more important than ever. Again, we've been there for you during the pandemic, pre-pandemic, and now post-pandemic here. And again, you're traveling with class and quality. What sets us apart? Again, being out here for 100 plus years, our ground operator on this trip, Colette, they've been there, they've seen the world here. We do not have you to worry about a thing on this journey here. There are no optional tours. All the highlights, all those must-sees are already right here included in this. And again, just speaking about that hair, 4-star plus accommodations, some expert local guides sprinkled throughout here as well. You'll have a tour manager who's with you the entire time in the destination, going from hotel to hotel on the motor coach with you there, giving you those highlights and things like that, and much, much more. So they don't have to worry about a thing. And again, as a philosophy on this here, making sure that we're not spending all of our time in a motor coach backtracking to Louisville, where this trip begins. But again, starting in one airport, ending in another one, really maximizing our time is more important than ever. And yes, as a AAA member, there's going to be an extra value add. So if you didn't need to use the towing or other services that AAA Northway offers, well, guess what? You've got a little extra savings right here on this. So let's get right into this amazing journey here. Again, October 3rd to the 11th. And to start off with that Steve Caparizzo, El Roker kind of question, what's the weather going to be like? Well, on average here on October 3rd in Albany here, we're looking at temperatures roughly about 50 to 65. In Louisville, Kentucky here, 55 and 73. In Lexington, about 52 and 70. Same in Gatlinburg, 50 and 70. And in Asheville, 50 and 70. again, we're looking at 50 and 65 here in Albany. So again, a couple degrees warmer here, but not too hot, not too cold, but like Goldilocks and the Bears, just right here on this. And as you can see to the left-hand side of Louisville here, there's an arrow representing a choice on tour. So you can do one thing, your traveling companion can do the other. Great, go back, compare notes. You're not paying an extra dime for doing so there. And you got multiple night stays at all of these locations here as well on this. So again, just want to highlight that right there on this. So here's where our journey begins, right here in Louisville, Kentucky, famous for its thoroughbreds, its bourbon, and its baseball here. Named after King Louis XVI of France, Louisville was founded here in 1778, largest city here in the state of Kentucky, and of course, most known here for hosting the Kentucky Derby. Now, our next day here, we're going to be enjoying a visit to Churchill Downs, as David said earlier here, the thoroughbred racehorse track here. That has been hosting the pinnacle of all horse races here, the Kentucky Derby, since 1875. Of course, this is run on the first Saturday in May, and experiencing the backside of the track, watching the horses during their morning workouts and more, just an amazing wow experience there. You're going to tour the Kentucky Derby Museum, learn about the legendary history here of the sport of kings. Again, this race often dubbed as the Run for the Roses. And of course, uh, this speaking about roses here, although the trophy itself weighs under 5 pounds, the winner is always presented with a blanket made out of roses, which weighs about 40 pounds, believe it or not. There, we'll then enjoy a walking tour of Old Louisville, a historic neighborhood that boasts the largest concentration of Victorian mansions in the entire United States. Later on, we're going to head to Museum Row, where it's our choice of experiencing one thing or the other. One is to either experience the Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory for an all-star baseball experience, showing us that there's much more about America's pastime, or exploring the Fraser Kentucky History Museum and its new Spirit of Kentucky exhibit here. Again, the official start of the Bourbon Trail. Now, tonight we will join our fellow travelers at a local restaurant for our welcome dinner. And we actually do that on the second evening instead of on the first night here, just because people are coming in from different parts of the country, so on and so forth there. Our next day here, we'll visit Buffalo Trace, which is actually the oldest continuously operating bourbon distillery in the United States, makes over 2.5 million gallons of whiskey each year, and actually remained active during the Prohibition times because whiskey was actually used for medicinal purposes back in the 1920s. We'll learn about the subtle craft of bourbon distilling, meeting some of the people that make it all happen, and of course, tasting some of Kentucky's homegrown spirit. And this distillery covers an area of over 400 plus acres. We'll stop at Midway here, quaint historic town, and the first one in Kentucky to actually be founded by a railroad, believe it or not. We'll learn about this area from a local guide exploring Kentucky's horse country, and this that said here, known to breed thoroughbred horses, we'll see how this culture has shaped the present culture of the town of Midway. We'll enjoy the stunning rolling bluegrass pasture land and many horse farms that dot the landscape, and we'll visit a private horse farm, hearing about the time-honored traditions before settling into Lexington for our two-night stay. This bluegrass part of the state here, high quality grass, able to endure frequent grazing, and again provides a perfect environment to raise generations of racehorses, allowing for the pasture to withstand constant feeding. Our next day, we'll travel south, stopping in Berea, which is the historic college town here, known as the Arts and Crafts Center of Kentucky here. We'll admire the Appalachian Mountains just outside of Berea, and we'll meet a few artisans while they demonstrate their crafts. From instrument makers to jewelry designers and sculptors, there's seamlessly an infinite amount of artists that call this town home. We'll then explore musical artifacts and memorabilia during a visit to the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame. Built back in 1945, the entrance to the museum was actually one of the riding stables of the of a founder of one of the entertainment centers here in the region, John Layer. And he actually founded the Renfro Valley Barn Dance and helped establish the Renfro Valley here as the country music capital of Kentucky. And music of all genres here, not just country and bluegrass, are represented here at this museum. We will then this evening take in the Taste of Kentucky's at a local restaurant, and our next day en route to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, we will travel through the Daniel Boone National Forest, covering an acreage of over 700,000 acres. In fact, this forest stretches to the eastern border of Kentucky, rugged terrain home to many animal species and vibrant flora. It extends across the Western Plains, or I should say the Western Plateau region of the Appalachians, and it's named for that larger than life American pioneer who once blazed a trail across these rugged and wild lands. Now, in Gatlinburg, this is a lively mountain resort city. It's the gateway to the Great Smokies, and it's going to be our home for our 2 night stay. Excuse me. When this was founded, Gatlinburg here was named the Land of Paradise. It started back as a cabin in 1802, and that cabin still exists to this day, but has expanded much, much more further over these last couple centuries. Excuse me. The rest of our day is at our leisure here to enjoy downtown Gatlinburg, or perhaps have the opportunity even to get to go to Dollywood. Again, this is Dolly Parton's Smoky Mountains theme park right there. A local guide is going to lead us here to the most visited national park here in the United States. Over 20 million visitors, believe it or not, make their way through the Great Smokies. And this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This houses history from the time of the Paleo Indians to European colonists. The Smokies here have always been held as a center for evolving cultures and wildlife. And speaking about wildlife, there's an estimated 1,500 black bear or so that live within these mountains. Actually contains one of the most diverse ecosystems on Earth and the largest deciduous forest in the eastern United States. We'll explore the park, stopping at various lookouts on our way to the Newfound Gap, which boasts both beautiful views of the Smoky Mountains, those in Tennessee, as well as in North Carolina. We'll continue on to the park, through the park, I should say, and to Cherokee, where we'll spend time at Qualla. Now, Qualla here is the oldest Native American arts cooperative, and here we'll learn about the traditional crafts and customs over a discussion with an artist. We'll enjoy a tour and tasting of the Old Smoky Moonshine Distillery. Again, we'll smell the distinct aroma of moonshine as and the processes as we walk through the distillery. Again, this distillery creates multiple flavors of moonshine, including White Lightning, of course, Blue Flame, and classic apple pie. Tasty. We'll say hello on our next day to Asheville, North Carolina, which is the home of the Blue Ridge Mountains and our home for the next 2 nights. Now, this nickname here of the city is the Land of the Sky. You can see it right there in that shot. This afternoon and evening are yours to explore the city itself here, a city known for its craft breweries, chocolate, and farm-to-table cuisine as well. Our next day, we'll venture to the Biltmore Estate, built back in 1895 by George Vanderbilt II, and he decided to build it himself a little mountain escape. Not so little, for sure, right here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. We'll take an impressive and decadent grandeur of the grounds. Over 8,000 acres is this property itself. It's actually the largest privately owned house in the entire United States. This evening, we'll gather for a farewell dinner celebrating the end of an unforgettable trip to Bluegrass country and the Smoky Mountains here. So as our tour comes to an end, you're going to venture home, taking in the spirit, the warmth of America's Southeast with you. Again, as a quick recap here, included experiences on Bluegrass country and the Smoky Mountains. Start there in Louisville with visiting Churchill Downs, again, the home to the legendary Kentucky Derby. We'll explore the historic neighborhood, have a choice of museums, either, again, the Louisville Slugger Museum or the factory of the Fraser Kentucky History Museum. From Lexington here, we'll visit the oldest continuously operating bourbon distillery here at Buffalo Trace, stopping in and seeing the historic, the horse country here of Midland. And we'll, of course, get to that private horse farm meandering through the artist town there, Berea, and onwards towards the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame. Gatlinburg, the Daniel Boone National Forest, guided tour of the Great Smoky Mountains, going time in Qualla here, again, the Native Americans Arts Co-op here, as well as, of course, the Old Smoky Moonshine Distillery. And again, back in Asheville, where our trip ends up here, making our way to that amazing sprawling landscape here of the Biltmore Estate. Now, we will be doing a hometown pickup. Generally speaking, we do that right at the the AAA in Clifton, the AAA Half Moon Clifton Park location there, and we'll give you more information prior to that, making our way down from there to Albany Airport. If you have a friend that lives in a different part of the country, letting them know we can fly you out of a different airport gateway. Just reach out to any of your travel consultants at any of the AAA Northway branches, and we can adjust that rate accordingly there. Of course, we talked about things like this. Look, in terms of dining experiences, having those unique opportunities here to delve and dive our way into those things, very important. But I just want to point out, if you're looking to upgrade air, just reach out to any of your travel consultants. Our insurance, it's a no worries, cancel for any reason policy. Literally the day prior, if you have to cancel, sick cat, bad hair day, bad hair life, hangnail, hangover. Yes, it doesn't even need to be medical. You're covered. Really, once on tour here as well, baggage loss, delay, evacuation, medical assistance. It is the peace of mind that you cannot put a price tag on. And up until the 3rd of April, 2024, you have to cancel for any reason. You're going to get everything back, including, yes, including the insurance. From the 4th of April to the day prior here in October, you'd get everything back minus the insurance. But that's again why you have insurance. If you've traveled with AAA member choice vacations over the past couple of years or ground operator Colette, we're going to give you additional savings. So again, if you've traveled 3 or more times, right off the bat, we'll start you off at level 2 with giving you additional benefit. But if it's been within 2 years of this trip, so from October of 22 to this date in October of 24, we'll have either 3 to 5% off the cost of the trip, the land portion, as a way of saying thank you. So again, instead of a toothbrush holder or a tote bag, we'll only give you a little extra value add to it. Do note when you fill out your registration form working with your travel consultant, it does need to match exactly what is on your government issued ID, which is, of course, your driver's license. So if your middle name is spelled out or just the initial, please make sure it matches 100% correctly there. And no, you're not going to have to worry about that real ID that has been extended into May of 2025. But to find out more about this trip, check out gateway.memberchoicevacationscom/link/1139987. Note there's no www in there on this. And that QR code or that dinosaur brings you right there to the trip dedicated webpage itself. Up at the top left, there's even a sign up now button. You can use that from the courtesy kindness of your own home if you want. Or again, even better yet, reach out to your local agent here, where we can again make sure that you are able to travel and again everything is all squared away and that you are ready to go there. Turnkey on that sign up now option. Again, if you're requesting wheelchair assistance at the airport, any dietary restrictions, things like that. The more that we know about you ahead of time, the better. CPAP machine, all those little things really helps out right there. Again, the book now early and save, it ends on April the 3rd, so do not wait until April the 2nd to make up your mind on this fantastic journey here. We want to get you in on that book now early and save rate. And here is the breakdown on this amazing journey here. At the time of deposit is when the insurance is due. So that's $698 and the $349 insurance is $1047 respectively there. Again, fully refundable until the 3rd of April. Now, final payment is not going to be due until July the 19th on this trip, so you have time to budget, plan, prepare. But on this here, this includes your round trip transfer from AAA Clifton Park Half Moon down to Albany Airport, your round trip air from Albany, your air taxes, your airport to hotel transfers in Kentucky and North Carolina, baker's dozen amount of meals, your hotels, your porterage. Only thing that's not included is any meals that are on your own, tips to the driver guide, local guide, that's going to be on you. But again, very, very comprehensive there. $38.99 per person double occupancy, plus that $349 insurance would be $42.48. As a solo traveler, it's $1,100 higher, $49.99, $349, $53.48. Limited single spacing available, so do not delay. You know the voice in your head that's telling you to travel? Simply put, listen to it. 10 years from now, you'll be so glad that you did. What are you waiting for? The best time to travel is while you can. So again, reach out to any of our travel consultants at 877-222-8283 or AAA.com/appointment. They're there for you. And on behalf of David and AAA Northway and AAA Member Choice Vacations, thanks so much. Again, reach out, travel at northway.aaa.com. that 877 number that you see on the screen, or check out that web link, as I mentioned there earlier on this. We look forward to having you travel with us October 3rd to 11th, 2024 on Bluegrass Country and Smoky Mountains. We'll see you there.